All right, we are going to begin with STEM. So this is when you need your paper or your whiteboard and your expo marker, okay? So today you're going to interpret products of whole numbers. So we're going to, again, be working with arrays to start learning some multiplication. But you're going to be able to interpret the meaning of factors as the size of the group or the number of groups. So that was when we were using those circles on a piece of paper and we were filling them in based off how many groups. Remember, equal groups when we were looking at that penguin picture. So we're going to continue to work on that today. So right now, I want you to look at this image to the right. What do you notice? So in this image, I notice blank. So I want everyone to write that down either in the chat or on your whiteboards. I'll give you 30 seconds of thinking time to really just look at that picture. No one is writing it. You are just looking at that picture and trying to notice as many things as possible with that picture. So we're looking, Angel, sweetie, what is your question?
My question is that I noticed that they kind of are like splitted.
Okay, they're split. Awesome. So that's something you noticed.
And what I wonder is that if they're like fireworks or if they're like tiny fireworks or toys or I don't know.
Okay, you're wondering what are we looking at? Okay. Remember I said I'm going to cold call. So let's see. Sophia, what did you notice in this image?
I noticed that they look like I noticed that they are separated into two groups.
Oh, I like that. You know, so there's a top and a bottom group. Awesome. What do you wonder, Sophia?
I wonder if they're like towels or they're something else. Like, what are they?
Multiple people are wondering what are we looking at? Scott. Scott, unmute yourself. What do you notice in this image? Come on, bud. We have to make sure that we're paying attention. Sweetie, what do you notice in this image? Anything? What pops out to you in this image?
Like,
anything. What do you notice, bud? Do you notice the colors? How many of them are in the picture? Anything that you notice, or what do you wonder, Scott? Share wonder.
Got 11 rows.
All right, I'm going to give you time to think, Scott, but I'm going to come back to you, okay? Look, I want you to look very closely at the picture because I can't hear you, Scott. All right, Jordan, last one, bud. What do you notice about this picture?
It has 11 rows.
Okay, awesome. The top one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. That's a great one. What do you wonder about it?
They're all different colors.
They're all different colors. Awesome. That's a great observation, Jordan. Thank you for sharing. Scott, sweetie, coming back to you. What's something you noticed?
Something that I noticed is that on the top row, there's this line of purple with green in the middle.
Okay, and it's on all of them, huh? Yeah, that's a great notice, Scott. Thank you for sharing. All right. So Explain how this image connects or relates to something you've already learned in math. So remember the sentence frame. So when I call on you in about 30 seconds, I'm going to say, this image relates to blank in math because of blank. Let's use Sophia's, because she said that this image relates to groups. She knows that there's groups in math because there are 2 pictures, maybe. Okay, so quick 30-second think time. Try to think about how you can relate this picture to math. Anything in math. Addition, subtraction, group. Thank you, Danielle, for this super great thinking face. Rosario with her thinking face. Sophia with her thinking face. Kat with her thinking face. Remember, I'm going to be calling on someone at random, so make sure you're thinking. Gabriel, thank you for the thinking face. All right, Gabriel, why don't you share one way that this relates to math?
One way this relates to math because they are in groups, and it's kind of like an array where there's a line in the middle, and then you have a group of things. And one thing else that it relates to math is that you could do multiplication with it and addition.
Okay, awesome. That's a great one. Thank you for sharing, Gabriel. You know, it's a couple ways that this can relate to math. So just make sure we stay on time. So if you look at this, it says each folded piece of fabric. So, oh, ding, ding, ding. You guys were wondering, what are we looking at? We are looking at fabrics. So folded fabrics. They are about 10 yards long. How many yards of fabric are there in 7 of these folded pieces? So if one piece has 10 and we have 7 of those, I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds, and I want you to write the answer on your whiteboards when you are done. So think about if you have 7 pieces of fabric and they're each 10 yards long. How many yards of fabric? I don't want it in the chat, guys. I want you to write it on your whiteboard, so make sure you are, give me a thumbs up when you have your number. Thumbs up when you have a number that you have written down.
Mouse, can you repeat it? Because I didn't hear you. It's super loud. My screen froze and then I didn't hear.
Okay, yeah, no worries, Emery. So each one of these fabrics is 10 yards long. So we have 10 yards. How many yards of fabric are there in 7 pieces? So let's think of 7 groups of 10. 7 groups of 10 yards. How many yards do you have? About 10 more seconds. Hello, Alexander, bud. Make sure Logan is writing on his whiteboard and paying attention. Good to see you, though, Alex. All right, I'm not seeing any thumbs up telling me that we have our answer written down. Marilyn, you have an answer written down? I don't see your whiteboard. Thank you, Leilani, for the thumbs. Okay, I'm waiting. All right, when you have it, show it to the camera. Flip it around, show your whiteboard to the camera. Jordan, where's your whiteboard? Oscar, where's your whiteboard? Show me your answer, show me your answer. Thank you, Wendy and Leilani, Catherine, Gabe, Sophia, thank you.
Can I go to the
Brian,
restroom?
thank you. Yes, you may. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so if you were looking, okay, you can put your whiteboards down.
Yes, my daughter is tissue. My nose is bleeding
Yes.
again.
Yes, sweetie, of course. So 7 groups, so 7 pieces of fabric. there's 10 yards in each of them. So you would have to do 7 times 10. So if we have 7 groups of 10 yards, we have to do 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. The answer was there are 70 yards of fabric. Okay, and we're going to get into how to solve these later on today. So give yourself a pat on the back if you wrote down 70 as your answer. So you guys took an assessment on Friday, for those of you that did take the assessment in STEM. So we're going to look at the test results later today if we have some time. But we really want to look at this favorite mistake because a lot of you guys missed this question. So we're going to try to figure out why we missed it. So if we are looking at this favorite mistake, and I'm going to use my annotating tool, it says, Miss Lawyer broke her students into 5 groups. So we have 5 groups. So I'm going to, if we're looking at our arrays, we have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. And there are 4 students in each group. So 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So if this is our favorite mistake, we must have messed up somewhere on our array. Does someone that took the test want to share if you got this right or wrong, and how did you solve it? Does anyone want to raise their hand and share? Yes, Rosario, thank you.
So how I did it, so to find out how many students are in Miss Anna's class, so I figured it out by so I think I had like a paper and I wrote and I put 5 groups and then put 4 and then put 4 little dots in those 5 groups.
Okay, so
And-
Rosario, you did the array that I just did right here on the screen. Is that what you did?
And then I did 5 times 4.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So good job, sweetie. So if we drew out the array and we counted up all of these, there's 4 and 5 groups. So 5 times 4. And Rosario, what'd you get as your answer when you did 5 times 4, sweetie?
I don't know because I kind of forgot.
Okay, so why don't we just count up our dots? So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 5 times 4 is 20. Or you can think of, right? Or you can think of 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Plus, yeah, so that's 20. Does that make sense? Does anyone want to share if they got it wrong in what they did? What was the mistake they made when they were solving this problem? Does anyone want to be brave and share the mistake they made? Thank you, Scott. Thank you for being brave and raising your hand. What did you do?
What I did was I counted too fast and I ended up with 18.
Okay. That's a common mistake, right? You get excited and you miscount. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you sharing that because I'm sure there are other people that made that same mistake. Yes, Sophia, you may go to the bathroom. All right, so if we are moving on, Oh, my screen's frozen. So we're learning a new vocabulary word today, and it's divide. So we were working on a little bit of introduction to multiplication, but now we're going to learn the word divide. Miss Kat, can you read the definition for us?
Can you hear my audio? Because it usually
Yes.
doesn't work at like
Yeah, I can hear you, Kat.
divide, to break apart into equal groups.
Okay, awesome. So if we notice, thank you, Kat. If we notice, we're hearing the words equal groups again. That's something that we also heard when we were learning the word array last week. So we want to make sure that we identify that those are similar definitions of groups. So this is where you're going to really need your whiteboards. Your whiteboards are your piece
Miss
of paper.
Salazar. Miss Darcy.
Yes, Emery.
I'm bleeding a lot and it's all over my computer.
All right, but just go, why don't you go to the bathroom, okay?
Okay, I'll be back.
All right. Thank you for letting me know. Danielle, you may go to the bathroom, sweetie. All right. So everyone needs to be sitting up. Miss Sophia, I need you sitting up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, on your whiteboards, looking at this picture. So this picture on the laptop with all these students' faces on it. Let's divide the class into 4 equal groups. So you want to be putting these people in groups of 4, in 4 different groups. So if I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, that's a group. Okay, so be sure to double check that you have all 4 groups are equal before showing you're ready. So I want you to really think about this activity right here. How are you going to divide these students into 4 equal groups? I'm going to disable the chat for a minute because I only want you thinking and working on the groups on your whiteboard. So I need to see everyone. Mikey, you can't be using your whiteboard if you have a cute little dog in your hands. All right. I need everyone thinking, using their whiteboards, placing dots. Remember, we can use our dots to represent the students in the groups. Thank you, Kat and Sophia. I can see them using their whiteboards. Jaden, thank you. I can see you using your whiteboard. Joel, bud, I need you working on this problem, sweetie. Wendy, thank you. Mikapreet, thank you for the thumbs up. We need 4 equal groups. So start assigning people to groups. So I'm going to put this girl in one group, this girl in one group. Thank you, Kat. Yes, Isaac, thank you, Isaac. Scott, but I haven't seen you write anything. Do you have your whiteboard written down? All right, when you have your answers, show me your whiteboards. Show me you're ready to go. Yes, Candy, what is your question, sweetie?
Can I go get my whiteboard?
Yes, sweetie, of course you may. All right, I see Kat's whiteboard. I've seen Isaac's. I'm still waiting on a few. Jaden, are you done? Show me your whiteboard, bud. Mikapreet.
I don't have a whiteboard.
All right, sweetie, well, show me whatever paper you're working on. Thank you, Rosario. Thank you, Leilani. Thank you, Wendy.
Okay, I'll get.
Thank you, sweetie. Brian, where's your whiteboard? Scholars, we should have these whiteboards. I've told us now 3 times.
Miss, what are we doing? I just got back.
Miss, what are we doing? I don't know because I was in the restroom.
All right, I'm going to go over it one more time for you and Emery, okay? You're looking at this laptop. You're looking at this picture, and you're dividing this class into 4 equal groups. So use your whiteboards to draw the circles or your counters, your little pom-poms. But either way, you
Miss,
need to
it's
divide these.
20.
What, Logan?
It's 20.
Okay, bud, you have to show me the whiteboard, sweetie. There's 20 kids. You're correct. There are 20 students in this class.
And don't
How
flirt.
many people are in each group? You have to divide the 20 scholars into 4 groups. All right, about 30 more seconds, then we gotta move on. If you've already given me the answer, thank you for waiting patiently. Thank you, Rosario. All right, Gabriel, I want you to look at that. 4 groups. You are multiplying. We're dividing into 4 equal groups. So how many equal groups did you make? Show me with your fingers. Show me with your fingers. I need to see fingers on the screen. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Kat. Gabriel, thank you. How many equal groups did we make? Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. There you go, Gabriel. Thank you, Rosario. Thank you, Wendy. Make a preet, sweetie. Why don't you go get some water, okay? All right, you guys, a lot of you guys got it correct. It was 4 groups. So you made 4 equal groups. Now when I say go, I'm gonna give you about 20 seconds to think. You're gonna show me with your fingers how many students were in each group. So we have 4 groups right here. Let me annotate. We had 4 groups, 3, 4. How many students are in each group, each row? How many students? 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna wanna see all of your guys' hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Show me with your fingers how many students are in each group or each row. Yeah, Kat, you're right, girlie. Say it confidently. Yes, it is 5. It is 5. If you put up a 5, give yourself a pat on the back. Isaac with his little happy dance. Joel, all right, so the answer is 5. And I'm going to have Miss Sophia M. Why don't you unmute yourself, sweetie, and read this sentence right here. These numbers, and then from the number of groups.
These numbers, the number of groups and the number in each group are called fractions.
Factors, but great job, sweetie. So
Yeah,
if we're looking at this, thank you. I'm going to annotate it again. These are factors. So the number of groups and the number in each group are called factors. So the 4 and 5 are the factors. So I'm going to clear this. That's it. So numbers you can multiply together to get another number. So if we had 2 groups and 3 people are in each group, the 2 and 3 are factors of 6 because 2 times 3 equals 6. Does that make sense? Does anyone want to ask a quick question about factors? We're going to get to learn a lot more about factors throughout this week. So if you're not understanding it quite yet, it's okay because this is the first day that we're really learning about factors, okay? All right, so can you calculate the factors of 12? So that is going to be any number, so like 2 and 3, any numbers that multiply together to equal 12. So we know that 3 groups of 4 people are 12, 2 groups of 6 people are 12, and 1 group of 12 people are 12. So 12 has a lot of factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are all factors of 12.
You were on your phone?
So let's draw a number bond for our equation. So on your whiteboards, I want you to draw these little circles. Can we do that? So I need to see everyone with their whiteboards or a piece of paper, and you're going to draw one. Let me get my annotating tool back. You're going to draw 1 circle, and then you're going to connect 4 circles to it. So you're going to write this on your whiteboard. We're going to draw a number bond for our equation. 4 times 5 equals 20. So we should be drawing the circles right now. All right, so if we're trying to get this number 20, that's going to be at the very top of our number bond. Does anyone want to take a guess of what we're going to put in these boxes right here? So there's 4 boxes, or I mean 4 little circles. What number do you think we're going to write in those circles? Does someone want to raise their hand and volunteer? What number do you think you're going to put in the circles? Isaiah, go ahead, bud. Yes, Emily, you may go to the bathroom. Isaiah, sweetie, I need you to unmute yourself and tell me what number you want to write in these circles.
5.
5. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Our number bond is going to be 5, 5, 5, and 5. And if we're looking at that, that makes sense because our answer is 20. We have 4 right here, which is represented by 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. So the 5s have to be what goes into the boxes. Awesome job. So yes, boom, boom, boom. The number of groups are represented by the blue circles. The size of the group is the 5s in orange, and then the total is 20. So if this is what you drew in your circles, give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so that is all. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. That is all for STEM today. So we can put our whiteboards away. Our whiteboards can go away. And we need to all get our Crenshaw book. But before that, we're going to all stand up and stretch. So I want to see our arms up in the air. Yes.
Miss, I said 5.
Lean to the right.
Miss,
Yes,
I
Logan.
can't see you.
Lean to the left. You can't see
Miss,
me?
I can't see you.
That's okay, but you can hear me, right? Reach your arms forward. Stretch that back.
It's black.
All right, but I'm going to put you back in the waiting room then and see if that'll help, okay? If you re-enter. All right. Now we're going to do our neck circles. So let's roll it to the left, circle our heads to the left.
There we go, miss.
There we go. Circle our heads to the right.
I don't want to.
Roll our shoulders back. I don't know about you. This feels good. All right, let's stretch out our fingers. And throw your hands up. Oh.
Miss, you're glitching a little.
To the right. And
You're glitching a little, miss.
to the right. To the right. To the right. We're down to
Miss,
the right.
you're glitching a little.
All right, Logan, bud. I'm sorry, sweetie. Down to the left.
Miss, I can't. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at Alex for some reason. Alex B.
It's because he's unmuted, okay? All right. Now, Logan, but I need you to stay muted, sweetie. Everyone take a deep breath in. Hold your breath. Angel, but I need you to stay muted. Whew, let your air out. Awesome.
Miss,
All right. Yes, Logan.
I'm gonna play Minecraft
No.
after the meeting.
No, you have work after the meeting.
Too.
You can play that tonight. But
Me
no
too.
more. Okay, scholars. I know that we were just doing some stretching, but that doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all, okay? I need everyone's Crenshaw books open to chapter 4. You're opening Crenshaw to chapter 4.
Miss, where's chapter 4?
Sweetie, the page numbers are a little off, but chapter 4 starts on page 13. Page 13. I'll give you about 10 seconds to get your books open to page 13. Make sure you stay muted, scholars, so that people can hear me. Yes, Candy, what is your question? Candy, you're muted, sweetie.
Can I go get my book, Miss?
Of course. All right, so I'm going to make sure you have your book out because I'm going to call on you at random to read out loud. So you have to know where we are, because if you don't know where we are, you're not going to be able to help the class read. Yes, Gabe. What's your question?
I'm on chapter 5. I read chapter 5.
Then you're ahead of the game, okay? So you're going to have to answer the chapter 4 discussion questions today, okay? For homework, all right? That's your homework today. So good job, bud. All right, so I'm going to share my screen real fast, and we're going to go over the Crenshaw little PowerPoint for today, and then we are going to begin reading chapter 4 and talking about some anchor charts.
Yes, be on chapter 4 or 2?
Chapter 4,
Miss
bud.
G, repeat.
Yes, Leilani.
What page you get? What page?
13, sweetie.
13?
Yep. All right, awesome. So we're going to be talking about context clues though too. Does anyone know some things about context clues? What are context clues?
I don't know anything about context clues.
We don't know anything about context clues? So I know we've learned about inferences and making inferences. So context clues are gonna help you figure out when you don't know the meanings of words. So we have a vocabulary packet, so you have those definitions. But if you're reading a text and you don't know what a word means, you can use clues around the word to help you figure out what the word means. So we're going to watch kind of this lighthearted video. It's only 1 minute long about context clues, okay? And it's kind of funny because it's like a comic book. So I'm going to share my screen, my sound.
Boo! Ah! Sorry, Josh. I couldn't help myself. Josh, that can is all shaken up. It's ready to rupture, and I will not clean up your mess. Ah! I just told you it was ready to rupture. Yeah, but I don't know what that word means. Well, didn't you hear the clues in what I was saying? I told you it was all shaken up and would probably make a big mess. Those clues should have let you know that rupture means explode. Yeah, well, I guess that means you're not going to help me clean this up. You're getting smarter all the time, aren't you, little brother?
So that was just a quick little video. So what that was saying is, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. All that's saying is you have to use clues around you in the text. So if you knew that it was shaken up and you said it was going to make a big mess, that helps you put together that, rupture probably means that it's going to explode everywhere, which normally happens when you shake something up, right? So we have to make sure we're paying attention to that when we're reading text, because there's a lot of complicated words in this book, especially since this is like a 3rd grade, 4th grade level book right here. There's going to be some words that we probably don't know, but that's okay because we're going to use our context clues to help figure them out. So I'm looking at my screen again. So today you're going to read aloud. We're going to read aloud pages 13 through 17, and then you guys, like I said, I'm going to call on you at random to read pages 18 through 20. So we have to make sure we're tracking along with me as I'm reading, because I'm going to show you my book. I'm going to project my book onto the screen. You have to make sure you're following along because you never know when you're going to get called on to read, okay? So we have to make sure that we are all ready to go. So I'm going to share my camera. And then boom. So here we are on chapter 4. So let's make sure we are ready to go and we are following along so that you are called on.
Miss, can I go to the restroom?
Of course, Angel.
Quick.
Yep, of course.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for everyone to be open to chapter 4 and for me to see their books. All right. A few hours after my Crenshaw sighting at the beach, he appeared again. So now we know that this Crenshaw is going to be a reoccurring character because he's back once again. No surfboard this time, no umbrella, no body either. Still, I knew he was there. It was about 6 in the evening. My sister Robin and I were playing cereal ball in the living room of our apartment. Again, Robin is a new character. That's his little sister. Cereal ball is a good trick for when you're hungry and there's nothing much to eat till top of page 14 till morning. We invented it when our stomachs were grumbling to each other. Wow, I would love a piece of pepperoni pizza, my stomach would growl. And then hers would grumble. Yeah, or maybe a Ritz cracker with peanut butter. Robin loves Ritz. Cereal ball is easy to play. All you need are a few Cheerios, or even a little piece of bread all torn up. M&Ms would be good too, if your mom isn't around to say no sugar. But unless it's right after Halloween, you probably don't have any. In my family, those guys go really fast. Make sure you're staying muted. First, you pick a target to throw at. A bowl or a cup works fine. Don't use a wastebasket because that might have germs. Sometimes I use Robin's T-ball cap, although that's probably pretty gross too. For a 5-year-old, that girl can really sweat. What you do is you throw your piece of cereal and try to make a basket. The rule is you can't eat that piece until you score. Make sure your target's far away or you'll finish your food too fast. I want us to really pay attention to this next sentence right here. The trick is that you can take so long to hit the target, you forget about being hungry for a while anyways. So I'm going to pause for a split second. So why is he playing this game? Him and his sister, why are they playing cereal ball? Yeah, Sophia.
Because they were hungry.
Thank you, exactly. Yes, when you may go to the bathroom. And it was a distraction, right? So I want us to really think about how this game is, like what it looks like. Imagine you're sitting across and from your living room and there's one little basket and you are throwing a single piece of cereal and you only get to eat the one piece of Cheerios when it lands into the basket. That's pretty tricky. So we're going to keep reading. I like to use Cheerios and Robin likes Frosted Flakes, but you can't be picky when the cupboard is bare. Okay, the word bare. We might not know what that means because it's not an animal. So if we use our context clues, you can't be picky, okay? So you can't really be nitpicky about what you're eating when the cupboard is bare. What do we think the word bare means in that sentence? Leilani, you want to take a guess?
Huh?
What does the word bare mean? But you can't
Bare?
be picky when the cupboard is bare.
Isn't it an animal?
Nope, we got in this context clues in the video. If the cupboard is bare. So he can't be picky about what he eats.
When we were watching the video?
He doesn't get, yeah, sweetie.
Oh, so when you shake, you know how he shaked it up?
Yeah,
Well,
so
his over.
I'm going to pause you for a second, Miss Leilani. It's your, yeah, so that's how he figured out what the word rupture means, but we're trying to figure out what the word bare means. So can't be picky about what cereal he chooses because the cupboard, and remember, a cupboard is a place where you store food, is bare. So I'm thinking that the cupboard is empty. There's not much in it. So that's why he's saying he can't be picky. If you run out of cereal and your stomach's still growling, you can always try chewing a piece of gum to distract yourself. Stuck behind your ear is a good hiding place if you want to use your gum again. Even if the flavor is gone, your teeth get a workout. So now, based off what Sophia said, not only is he playing this game to distract him from being hungry, he's also just eating gum instead of meals. Crenshaw showed up, at least he seemed to show up, while we were busy throwing my dad's brand cereal into Robin's cap. It was my turn to throw, and I got a direct hit. When I went to take out the cereal piece, I found 4 purple jelly beans instead. I love purple jelly beans. I stared a long time at those things. Where did the jelly beans come from? I finally asked. Robin grabbed the cap. I started to pull it away, but then I changed my mind. Robin is small, but you don't want to mess with her. Here's more characteristics about his sister Robin. She bites. It's magic, she said. She started dividing up the jelly beans. That's one of our vocab words for math. 1 for me, 1 for you, 2 for me. Seriously, Robin? Stop kidding around. Where? Robin gobbled down 2 jelly beans. She said, which I figured meant stop teasing me in candy mouth. Aretha, our big Labrador mutt, rushed over to check things out. No candy for you, Robin said. You are a dog. You eat dog food, young lady. But Aretha didn't seem interested in the candy. She was sniffing the air, ears cocked towards the front door, as if she had a guest approaching. Mom, I yelled, did you buy jelly beans? Sure, she called back from the kitchen. They're to go with the caviar. Caviar is a vocab word in our vocab packet. It means fish eggs. I'm serious, I said, picking up 2 pieces. Just eat Dad's cereal, Jackson. You'll poop for a week, she answered. A second later, she appeared in the doorway, a dish towel in her hands. Are you guys still hungry? She sighed. I've got a little mac and cheese left over from dinner, and there's half an apple you could share. All right, pause right there. There's only half an apple, so think the apple's already half eaten, and now the mom's saying that they can share the half-eaten apple. That sounds like not a lot of food to me. So I want to ask you guys a question. I'm going to randomly call on someone. Do you think the purple jelly beans were real? So they were playing with cereal, and then out of nowhere, 4 purple jelly beans appear in the baseball cap. Jaden, what do you think, bud? Unmute yourself. Do you think those are real jelly beans or imaginary jelly beans? Jaden, sweetie. It's your turn. Bud, unmute yourself.
Imaginary.
Yes, Angel, you think they're imaginary, but I was asking Jaden. What about Alexander? Alexander, sweetie, do you think the jelly beans are real or imaginary?
I think they're real because only one of them would be able to see the jelly beans, but both of
True.
them were able.
True, exactly. So
It could
Robin,
be because they have to share the same minds, but I don't think so.
yeah, Robin also saw the jelly beans. Exactly. Robin ate the jelly beans. So Crenshaw is really stepping up his game if he thinks that he made real jelly beans appear, even though he's an imaginary friend. All right, Mr. Alex V. Alex V, bud.
What was the question again?
Do you have your book open to page 17?
Yeah.
All right, you're going to start reading at I'm fine. You're going to read this paragraph, sweetie, okay?
Wait, where?
Right here, I'm fine on page 17.
Wait, where's the sign?
It says I'm fine.
Oh, okay. When do I start reading?
Right now, bud.
Wait, I'm fine. I said quickly, back to the old days when we always had food in the house. I would whine if we always had food. Oh,
I'd
we
whine
were
if you were
run
out.
out of my favorite stuff, but lately we've been running out of everything, and I had the feeling my parents felt lousy about it.
Awesome, thank
We
you for
have
reading.
jelly beans, Mom. We have jelly beans, Mom. Robin said, well, okay, then. As long as you're eating something
Nutritious.
nutritious, said my mom. I get my paycheck at Rite Aid tomorrow, and I'll stop by the grocery store and pick up some food after work. She
All right,
gave a
Alex,
little nod.
you can stop reading, sweetie. Thank you so much. So if we're looking at that right here, so he says he used to complain about wanting his favorite food. So like, I want chicken strips. But now he's like, he doesn't whine about not having any food because he can tell his parents feel lousy about it. And lousy just means that he can tell that his parents are really sad that they can't afford to give him more food. And the mom even mentions her paycheck that she's gonna get at Rite Aid. So you know that they feel pretty down about it. She gave a little nod, like she'd checked something off a list, and went back to the kitchen. Aren't you gonna eat your jelly beans? Robin asked me, twirling her yellow ponytail around her finger. Because if you want me to do you a big favor, I guess I could eat them for you. I'm going to eat them, I said. Just not yet. Why not? They're purple, your favorite. I need to think about them first. So he's thinking about where they came from. That's what he's thinking about. You are a weirdo, brother, said Robin. I'm going to my room. Aretha wants to play dress up. I doubt that, I said. I held a jelly bean up to the light. It looked harmless enough, so even Jackson might think that these are imaginary jelly beans. She especially likes hats and also socks, Robin said, and she left with the dog. Don't you, baby? All right. Can we have Mr. Jordan? You have your book ready to go? You're up, bud, on page 18, where it says Aretha's tail wagged.
You are a weirdo, brother, said Robin. I'm going to my room. Aretha wants to play dress up. So next one.
You're good,
I
buddy.
sniffed the jelly beans. They smelled not quite grapey in a good way. They looked real. They felt real. And my real little sister had just eaten some.
Awesome, Jordan. You may
Rule
stop
number one.
there, bud. Thank you for reading that paragraph, bud. Good job. So again, so on the page before that, we were referencing that he didn't know if these jelly beans are real. And it says nobody, no surfing cats, no Crenshaw. So he doesn't know where these jelly beans came from. His mom didn't buy them at the grocery store. So Jackson is contemplating, should he tell his parents that he has these jelly beans? But he's like, my mom and dad, right here it says, my mom and dad would do one of two things. Either they freak out and worry he was going crazy, or they think it was adorable that I was pretending to hang out with my old invisible friend. So what Jordan just read for us is him saying that Jackson was investigating these jelly beans. He was sniffing them. They seemed real. They felt real. His sister ate them. So they aren't imaginary jelly beans. They're real jelly beans. So I may finish this page because then we're down to chapter. Rule number 1 for scientists is this. There's always a logical explanation for things. I just had to figure out what it was. Maybe the jelly beans weren't real and I was just tired or sick, delirious even. That just means confused. I checked my forehead. Unfortunately, I did not seem to have a fever. Maybe I got sunstroke at the beach. I wasn't exactly sure what sunstroke was, but it sounded like something that might make you see flying cats and magic jelly beans. Maybe I was asleep, stuck in the middle of a long, weird, totally annoying dream. Still, didn't the jelly beans in my hand seem extremely real? Maybe I was just hungry. Hunger can make you feel pretty weird, even pretty crazy. I ate my first jelly bean slowly and carefully. If you take tiny bites, your food lasts longer. A voice in my head said, never take candy from strangers. But Robin had survived, and if there was a stranger involved, he was an invisible one. There had to be a logical explanation, but for now, the only thing I knew for sure was that that purple jelly bean tasted way better than the brand cereal. All right, so I stopped sharing my screen. If we are looking at that chapter, I know Mr. Oscar was saying, and he said it last week, that Jackson is poor, right, Oscar? So we notice, yeah, go for it, bud.
That may be last week.
Yeah, last week. So what do you know about Jackson now, Oscar?
To feel that what take about those taking those jelly beans with those jelly beans, they were like something about how the good taste, like
Yeah.
what the good taste is.
Yeah, good job. Thank you, Oscar. So if we're looking at what Oscar was just saying, Jackson doesn't get any food. He has a half-eaten apple, brand cereal. Those jelly beans that Crenshaw gave him really made him feel a lot better. So again, I'm starting to think that maybe Crenshaw starts coming around whenever Jackson is in a really tough place or really hungry or really, as Oscar said last week, very poor. So whenever Jackson's going through a rough time, Crenshaw appears. So today you're going to go on Go Formative, fill out the discussion questions for chapter 4, and do your exit ticket. Okay, the discussion questions you should be great at because we just read the whole chapter as a class, okay? And remember, it's just your opinion, your inferences.
Mr. Arfi, I already did humanities.
Awesome, bud. Then you just have STEM left. So if you have any questions, you may ask. If you would like to come to study hall today, it's going to be more math-based, and we're just going to be practicing some more arrays. So that's at 2 o'clock if you would like to come. Okay, the link is on Google Classroom. If you need help with the Go Formative assignment for STEM or humanities, make sure you stop by study hall, okay? All right, have a great day, you guys. Thank you so much for paying attention for so long.
Mr. Arfi.
Yes, Judy.